Hi, everyone on YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and football fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my thoughts about Week 11 and my picks for Week 12 for the 2025 NFL season. Check it out. First off, let me get to my Week 11 thoughts about in there. Straight up, I went 12-3, which is one of the best weeks I had overall. That was a really good, solid, straight up week. Against the spread, went above 500 with 6-5-3 pushes overall in the year, so that's all right for that. I can live with 500. But over and under, talk about a really bad one on that one. I went 0-4 on the over and unders. You can't have them all the time, so it is what it is. But overall, 94, 48, and 1 overall in the year straight up. Against the spread, I'm 66, 73, and 7 overall in the year. I still need some work on that. We'll get there. But over and under, I need to work on that a little bit more. So I'm 14, 25, and 1 overall in the year. So that's the thing I need to be working on a little more. But anyways, what happened in Week 11? My Patriots are the New York Jets. Oh, congratulations to my Patriots. Their first winning season in 4 years. Props to them on that one. And props to Mike Vrabel, who is actually doing a phenomenal job for head coach. Maybe coach of the year. Maybe Stephon Diggs comeback player of the year. Which, in my knowledge, I think when I put for comeback player of the year, I think I put... What did I put for comeback player of the year now that I think about it? But, I wrote it in now. In there. Oh, yeah. I did put coach of the year John Harbaugh. Doesn't look like that. MVP Lamar Jackson doesn't look like that either. Could be Drake May, but I'm not pushing it. Maybe Matthew Stafford. And I did comeback player of the year was Adrian Hudson from the Detroit Lions. Doesn't look like that right now, but what can you say on that one? But anyways, continuing on with that one, Miami and Washington. Miami's bouncing back. Props to them. Carolina and Atlanta. That was one of my best calls of the week that I told everyone to pick Carolina over Atlanta. They did just that. So, Buffalo and Tampa Bay. Buffalo started off slow, but they ended up catching fire in the fourth quarter. So, that's what you can do on that one. Houston and Tennessee. Tennessee still having some work to do. Chicago and Minnesota. Give them props for Chicago as well. They're playing well this year. And now, out of all the teams you expect to get the division, Green Bay, Minnesota, in Detroit. Now, the one who was not really thinking about is Chicago right now. They're in first place right now. Props for them. The Green Bay Packers and the New York Giants. The New York Giants are just playing bad. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Pittsburgh came to play. That was it. Jacksonville just pounding the LA Chargers, which I think that was the one regret I did on that one. But anyways, the Rams in Seattle. The LA Rams just sneaked in there, just squeaked the win out of that one, but they end up getting the win. San Francisco with the injuries, they beat Arizona. Baltimore and Cleveland. Baltimore is coming back. That's all I can tell you. Kansas City and Denver. It could be a new regime in the AFC West. It's Denver. But this week against the Colts for Kansas City, it's a must-win for Kansas City to keep their playoff hopes alive. But Detroit and Philadelphia, Detroit just got killed. That was it. They need to show up now, too. They're like Kansas City right now. They need to keep in there to keep the playoff hopes alive. Then Dallas and Las Vegas. Give props to Dallas. They won for Marshawn Nealon. That was a sweet, sweet win. They lost their player, for mental health issues. But they went in for defensive end Marshawn Nealon. So that's really a good emotional win for the Dallas Cowboys on that one. So anyways, that's what happened in week 11. Let's get on to my week 12 picks. Okay, let's kick things off on Thursday night with the Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo came out strong in the fourth quarter, and they had a good, solid win. Houston had a solid win as well. It's in Houston, and so it's a big fire in this thing in them right now. But Buffalo needs to keep their playoffs hopes alive, at least something to get on their heels. But Buffalo is on the merge to win. They're trying on a win now situation. So I'm going to take Buffalo over the Texas and Houston. On the line, Buffalo is favored by 5.5 in this game. I'm going to take Buffalo minus 5.5. Overnight is 43.5. I'm going to go over 43.5 in this game. The Chicago Bears and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh is up and down lately. That's a little struggle right now. But Chicago is on the rise right now. You got to pick the one who's on the rise right now. That's Chicago. I'm going to take Chicago at home over the Pittsburgh Steelers to win. On the line, Chicago's favored by 2.5 favorites in this game. I'm going to take Chicago minus 2.5. The Cincinnati Bengals and my Patriots. This game is a much important win for the Patriots right now. My Patriots need to get at least a double-digit win to keep the division hopes alive. This is a much important game. Every game matters for the Patriots right now. This is a must-win situation throughout. So they have to win out. Which the thing is, they say that everyone has an easy schedule, but I don't really believe in that. Every game matters, but with the suspension of Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow's in the foot injury with the toe injury, which that could be a range on that one. So I'm going to take my Patriots over Cincinnati to win this game. On the line, my Patriots are 7.5-point favorites in this game. I'm going to take my Patriots minus 7.5. The Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. So the Detroit Lions are probably angry at what happened for last week against Philadelphia. They're probably going to take it out on the poor Giants. So I'm going to take the Detroit Lions over the New York Giants to win this game. On the line, Detroit is favored by 10.5-point favorites in this game. You know, say what you want, but I don't like 10-point spreads, double-digit spreads, but this is the case scenario. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take Detroit minus 10.5. The Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Green Bay needs to keep their playoff hopes alive. Minnesota needs to keep their playoff hopes alive. That's a tough division right there. Any game matters for these two teams. Somebody's got to give, but it's in Lambeau Field. I'm giving it to Green Bay. So I'm going to take Green Bay over Minnesota to win this game. On the line, now Green Bay is favored by 6.5-point favorites in this game. I'm going to take Minnesota plus 6.5. The Tennessee Titans and the Seattle Seahawks. Tennessee needs help, and they're probably just going to tank for a number 1 draft pick. Or at least try to tie it with the Saints. So I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks over the Tennessee Titans to win this game. On the line, Seattle's favored by 13.5-point favorites in this game. Yeah. Why not? You know, Tennessee has a lot of problems too. I'm going to take Seattle minus 13.5. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Indianapolis Colts. This is a must-win for both teams. Both teams need a win. Indianapolis needs to win to keep their number 1 seed alive. Kansas City needs to win to get their playoff hopes alive to keep in the hunt. Now, Kansas City is in a must-win now mode. But it's in Kansas City. That's a tough place to play. Indianapolis, yeah. If it's in Indianapolis, I would have taken the Colts. But it's in Kansas City. I can't really say as much about Kansas City on that one at home, but this is a must-win for Kansas City. It's not over yet for Kansas City. This is a must-win for them. So I'm going to take Kansas City over Indianapolis to win this game. But on the line, Kansas City is favored by 3.5 in this game. I'm going to take Kansas City minus 3.5. The Baltimore Ravens and the New York Jets. The Jets need help too, and they're going to compete with the Titans and the Saints to be in the number 1 pick in the draft. To say that, Baltimore wants to come back strong, and I think that's what they're going to do. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens over the New York Jets to win this game. On the line, the Ravens are 13.5-point favorites in this as well. The Jets need help too, so there's no point of that. So I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens minus 13.5 in this game. The Cleveland Browns and the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, for this game, there's no hope for I will say this. Let me say this for Cleveland. This is a really good situation for Shedeur Sanders right now. I might regret this pick, but I'm hoping for Shedeur Sanders comes out strong in this game. So I think for this game, if I'm not mistaken, though, for the Cleveland Browns, this is a good situation to see how to test the waters for Shedeur Sanders. But for Shedeur Sanders' case, this is your moment right now. This is your moment. It's in Las Vegas. If this was in Cleveland, I would have gone with Cleveland in this one. But it's in Las Vegas, so I'm gonna take the Las Vegas Raiders at home over the Cleveland Browns to win this game. But if Cleveland wins, I'm not gonna be surprised either. So that could be one of the regrets I'm gonna pick. But on the line, Las Vegas is favored by 3.5 in this game. I'm gonna take Las Vegas minus 3.5. The Arizona Cardinals and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Arizona's in a tough situation right now. Jacksonville, they got a good solid win. So they got to keep that momentum going. I'm going to take Jacksonville over Arizona to win this game. On the line, Jacksonville is favored by 12 and... Is it? Oh, no, 2.5 point favorites in this game. I'm going to take Jacksonville minus 2.5. The New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. I think right now the Saints lead it for the worst team, for the number one pick in the draft. So I think they're going to keep that momentum stretching. But despite the injuries for Atlanta's going to might pull up the upset in this one. So I'm going to take Atlanta over New Orleans to win this game. On the line, New Orleans is favored by 1.5 point favorites in this game. I'm going to take Atlanta plus 1.5. The Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now for this game, another classic division rivalry. This is going to be one for the ages. So for this game, I'm going to take Philadelphia over Dallas to win this game. On the line, though, Philadelphia is favored by 3.5 point favorites in this game. I'm going to take Dallas plus 3.5 because you never know what could happen. And for Sunday Night Football, the LA Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For this game, both teams need to win to keep their division hopes alive. Carolina's coming up strong. Tampa Bay needs help right now. But as of right now, this is going to be the LA Rams in this one. They're at LA. So I'm going to take the LA Rams over Tampa Bay to win this game. On the line, the Rams have 6.5 point favorites in this game. I'm going to take the Rams minus 6.5. Over and under, it's 49.5. I'm going to go under 49.5 in this game. And for Monday Night Football, the San Francisco 49ers and the Carolina Panthers. This is a must-win situation. If my Tampa Bay and the Rams prediction correctly, you know it. Carolina is going to be fired up for this game. So for this game, this is a much win for Carolina. And the injuries right now for San Francisco, it could make an impact on that. So I'm picking the upset in this one. I'm going to take Carolina over San Francisco to win this game. On the line, San Francisco's favored by 7 in this game. I'm going to take Carolina plus 7. Over and under, it's 49. I'm going to go under 49 in this game. Okay, before we get to the shout-out this week, I want to say a big congratulations to the Saskatchewan Rough Riders from the CFL who just recently won the Grey Cup. So, and of course, I want to say thank you to Justice Bridgewater's Finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter, for giving me a shout-out in his Grey Cup championship because we did a little bet that we had. So we had that bet if he would have lost the bet, he would give me a shout-out in his show. And if he would have won the bet, I would have worn my I Love Breakfast t-shirt. But that's going to be another day for that. Anyways, that being said, just thank you for the shout out for that one. Justice Bridgewater's Finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter. And congratulations to the Saskatchewan Rough Riders for being the 2025 Grey Cup champions. So congratulations to them on that one. So anyways, a big shout out this week is Names Noodle. Check him out and the rest of the NFL YouTube prognosticator in the description down below right here. And for today's brick, check out this new other Halloween edition from Dr.Squatch, Count Sudsula. You got it. This is I gotta say, a couple of years ago when I tried this, it wasn't my favorite and out of the Halloween ones that came out. But this one's starting to grow on me. This is a fruit punch leathery scent. And that's why I didn't really get into it at first, because I'm not a big fan of leather. Even in cologne, I'm not a fan of it at all. And I can still smell it from here, from this. in there. It's really strong. But to say the least out of this one, this is starting to grow on me. So I've been using it the last couple of years on Halloween too. I'm starting to enjoy it more and more as I use it. So you definitely need to check the Count Sudsula out. It's a Count Dracula theme with a little bit of fruit punch and blood, and with this jacket too with the leather. Mix that that's really good. You get this one. It's really good brick. You definitely can check this one out in the description down right here as well. So then, this is Andrew Warren saying, rock out and eat your breakfast.